Imagine something goes wrong. Not a car accident, not a house fire, but imagine you get a letter in the mail. It says there's something in your soil or the air, or a company shows up wanting to build something right next to your property line, or you just need to know, is my kid safe at school? Who do you call? Well, it's not a 1-800 number, not a federal agency that doesn't even know that this county exists, not a board someone else put together. You call the people you voted for. Well, I want to introduce you to them. You already know these people. You just might not have thought about them in this way. The road that got fixed last winter? Them. The school your kids go to? Them. The health report that comes out every year on Pike County? Also them. Commissioners, school board members, township trustees, health district directors, people who live here, ran office here, and got elected by you. Right now, those same people are managing something most communities never face. They're sitting across from the federal government. They paid for an independent investigation of this community out of their own budget. They took that data to Columbus and to Washington. Before we get into what they found, you need to know who they are. These are 6 local governments in the COG, the Council of Governments, each one accountable to the people who live inside its borders, each one with something real at stake. Pike County Commissioners, well, they run the county. Roads, emergency services, the budget. When someone calls about that plant or about their property, well, the commissioners take that call. They're the broadcasting governing authority here, and they're at this table. So when that call comes in, they're one of the people who answers. Pike County Health District, well, they track disease. They put out the cancer numbers every year that made me aware of all of this that's happening. They know what 195 new cases a year in a county of 28,000 people looks like. Their job is to read that data and do something about it. And that's not a political position, that's just public health. So when that call comes in, they're one of the people who answers. Scioto Valley School District. They run the schools. Here's something most people don't know. The Department of Energy's own air monitor for the Portsmouth Site that's located at Zons Corner Middle School in the district. The school board is on the call because those kids are who they answer to. So when that call comes in, they're one of the people who answers. Now, you might be thinking, okay, the commissioners, the health officials, I get that, but the townships, a village? Stay with me. Scioto Township. Scioto Township is right up against that fence line. Farms, families, roads that border federal property. If something goes wrong at that site, Scioto Township is inside the emergency planning zone. The people out there don't get that option of geographic distance. So when that call comes in, they're one of the people who answers. Scioto Township, same situation, different parcel, residential streets, working families, properties that got sampled in the investigation. Township trustees are the most local form of elected government there is. If you live inside a township, this is your government. So when that call comes in, they're one of the people who answers. In the Village of Piketon, closest to the site, the emergency planning zone cuts right through it. The village council can't look the other way on what happens at that plant. They're not trying to. They want to be in the room when decisions get made, and they've earned that. So when the call comes in, they're one of the people who answers. So, who do you call? These 6. Pike County Commissioners, Pike County Health District, Scioto Valley Local School District, Scioto Township, Scioto Township, Village of Piketon. Elected, accountable, living right here. So what happens if they're not in the room? I needed to know. Well, a federal agency is making decisions about 3,700 acres in your backyard. New investment is coming in. And if nobody with the actual governing authority to present, somebody who doesn't live here gets to make those calls. The contracts are signed, the land gets used, the money moves, just without anyone you voted for in the actual conversation. That's why this group exists. Not because anyone wanted another committee, but because if they aren't here, nobody was going to be there for you. These 6 governments didn't always operate together. For a long time, each one was on its own. a township asking questions that nobody answered, a health district tracking numbers nobody acted on, a commissioner making calls that went nowhere. In 2019, they decided that wasn't working. They built something together. A formal council with legal standing, federal funding, and the authority to speak for this community directly to the U.S. Department of Energy. That's the SVPA-COG. That's who these people are. If you want to know what's happening here and who's working on it, stick with me.